Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today we're doing a what's next on Shavkat Rakhimov, the former IBF super featherweight champion at 130 pounds, following his second pro defeat, a tough knockout loss in his home country to Eduardo Nunez, the power punching Mexican. Now, before we get into that, if you could smash the like button, leave a comment, or subscribe to the channel, I really do appreciate any and all support that I can get as I continue to build my channel here. So, Rakhimov, tough loss. You know, he's a good fighter, but that's 2 losses in a row now. He lost his title to Joe Cordino last year, and he was trying to get back into it by beating Nunez in his final eliminator, but he just came up short. He just couldn't hold Nunez off the whole time. Nunez kept marching forward at him, and Rakhimov did the best he could. Again, he just could not hold him off. So, tough loss for Rakhimov here, as he really did the best he could to try to fend off the very tough and aggressive Eduardo Nunez. But now the big question is, what's next for him following this defeat? So let's run through the top 10 real fast and see if any of those guys are even possibilities. Start with WBO champion Emmanuel Navarrete. Navarrete's moving up to 135 next. He's not going to fight Rakhimov, coming off back-to-back losses. So, and he's fighting for a title there, so the fight wouldn't even be possible anyways. Then you got Robson Conceição. Conceição is a top-ranked guy, and Rakhimov is a matchroom guy. But, you know, wouldn't be a bad matchup otherwise, but I don't see these two guys locking horns. It just doesn't make sense. Then there's a rematch with IBF champion Joe Cordino. Well, that's out the window because he lost to Eduardo Nunez. That would have been on the table for him, but the loss to Nunez has taken that off the table, so that's not going to happen next. Then there's WBC champion Shavkat Foster. Foster is rolling, and he's a top-ranked guy now. Rakhimov's with Matchroom and DAZN, and he's coming off of back-to-back losses, so Foster's not going to entertain a Rakhimov fight, so I don't see that one. Then there's Lamont Roach Jr., the WBA champion. I wouldn't roll it completely out if Roach didn't have 2 mandatories due, which he does. So I don't see Rakhimov and Roach being a possibility. Then there's Hector Luis Garcia, the former WBA champion. He's also coming off of back-to-back losses, but he's also a PBC guy, where Rakhimov's a Matchroom and DAZN guy. I don't see these 2 guys locking horns next. Then there's Oscar Valdez, the former 2-division champion. He's fighting Liam Wilson next, but win or lose that one, it doesn't really matter because he's a top-ranked guy, and I don't see him fighting a guy like Rakhimov coming off of back-to-back losses. It's too high risk of a fight, and they're with different promoters. Then there's Mark Magsayo, the power puncher. He's a PBC guy, I think, and Rakhimov and him just, I think for Magsayo, it's kind of a high-risk fight as he's trying to feel the landscape of 130 out, so I don't see him fighting against Rakhimov. And then there's Edward Vasquez. This is actually a pretty good matchup in my opinion, a matchup I would like to see. So I think this fight definitely has some legs to it. I wouldn't be surprised if these 2 guys were to lock horns. But Rakhimov coming off of back-to-back losses, would he want to take that chance? I don't think he'd be completely opposed to it, and I don't think Vasquez would be completely opposed to it. So rounding it out, I really believe the most likely option, at least for a top 10 guy, would be Edward Vasquez. But I think Rakhimov is probably going to take some time off. We might not see him back until the end of the year, and then he's probably going to maybe just get a win to get that confidence rolling again by taking on, you know, a lesser fighter, you know, just like a tune-up, shake off that rust type fight. So I would lean towards Rakhimov is probably not even going to fight a top 10 guy next. You know, he's probably going to just get in there and fight just a stay busy kind of deal. So that's it. That's what I got. That's my what's next on former IBF super featherweight world champion at 130 pounds, Shavkat Rakhimov, following his tough knockout loss to Eduardo Nunez. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, leave a comment, or subscribe to the channel. I appreciate any and all support. This is True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.